Hello, everybody. This is the professor, Mr. Teaserking, coming to you with just a late update on week 6, the Sunday morning edition. What's going on? Any line changes? So I've updated the lines, so not a lot of changes. Green Bay still 5.5, 45. KC 6.5, 54. And I do see where Tyreek Hill is playing. The only one out's Chocolatey Clear. Minnesota's 2.5 over Carr, 46. Baltimore 3 over San Diego, 51. Cincinnati 3.5, 47 over Detroit. The Rams are down to 7.5 because Daniel Jones is playing, and the receivers over under 49. That's awfully, went from 10 to 7.5 because of Daniel Jones. I'm not sure he's that much. Cleveland 348 over Arizona. I hear there's high winds there, but I don't know how accurate the weather. Is it high winds all day today, or is it just it's off the lake and it's not? Oakland and Denver laying 5, 44.5. Obviously, with Gruden out, I think Oakland has a better chance. Gruden's a terrible coach. Dallas 3.5, 50.5 over New England. Pittsburgh -5, 43 against Seattle without Russell Wilson, and there's no Juju Schuster for Pitt. Buffalo 5.5 on the Monday night, 54.5, 53.5, I think. And then Indy, it went out of order this week. Indy 10.5, 44 against Houston and Davis Mills. Yesterday I was on fire. Oh my God, yesterday. Good morning. Hi, Andrew. Good morning. Yep. Well, we made a lot of money yesterday. She saw my class. I hit everything. Both my locks won yesterday. I had Cincinnati over UCF with the backup quarterback. And I had the Georgia under. No surprise there. They covered comfortably. Kentucky score with 7 seconds left to make it a 43. We're under 51, so very easy lock. The third lock is today, one of the games. So it's hard to buy the lock after the first two have already locked, because in a teaser I locked. I had Cincinnati with Georgia under, and then I had Cincinnati and Georgia under with the pro team. So the lock's there. I love the lock today. Let's talk about the game. So Green Bay, Chicago. I don't know. How do you guys want me to do this? But I'll just do it at this point. I like Green Bay over Chicago. Green Bay's got, you got Aaron Rodgers against Fields, and they're trying to make Fields up like he did anything. What did he do? He beat the Lions. He got one lucky pass, and basically the Lions had the ball inside the 10 3 times, fumbled and turned it over on downs instead of kicking field goals. I don't really consider Fields made the difference. Green Bay does own this series. They do play Chicago very well, and I just don't think Fields is not going to keep up with Rodgers. So here you're betting the quarterback. KC 6.5 over Washington. Again, I like this game two ways. KC off a loss and a must win. Was the lock. What do you mean was the lock, Andrew? What's the lock? I can't tell you the lock. You got to pay for the lock, but I can give you my opinions on the games, and you'll have to figure out the lock. How about that? I do charge. This is, this service. I'm trying to help people and educate you. But if you want my locks, then you have to go to the site and buy it. So KC, I like laying 6.5 off of a loss. Again, Washington's defense sucks. Both their defenses suck in this game. You're just going with Holmes, and Tyreek Hill is playing. Washington seems to score a lot, and they're an over team also. Their defense is terrible for some reason. Was the lock Green Bay? No, the lock's not Green Bay. In this game, so KC has to win. I think Mahomes, Heineke looks okay. I don't know. I'm torn between playing KC and playing the over. I think both are easy wins. I mean, the over, Washington seems to score, and KC doesn't really have the defense. And neither does Washington. So I see a 30-point gain easily for both sides as a 60, 54 goes over 48. So I like that, and I like KC even after the loss in a do-or-die game. So I like both ways there. Mini Carolina, I can't trust Mini on the road. Now McCaffrey is out, so I don't love the Carolina. I mean, the guy from Oklahoma State's okay, but he's not McCaffrey. 46. I like the game under. I think Minnesota, for some reason, they're playing unders now. Cousins, it's terrible. As far as I know, Thielen and Jefferson are playing, and Dalvin Cook. I wouldn't take Minnie on the road. Carolina's got a good defense. Minnie's got a good defense. I think this is a defensive game. Over under 46, you go to 52. I don't trust Carolina at 8.5. I can't trust Minnesota, but they seem to be playing low-scoring games, Minnesota. So I can, under 52 sounds like the best way to play the game. Baltimore 3 over San Diego, 51. Both teams are B teams in that they're strong offensively and they're strong defensively. So in this situation, I like to tease the dog. I'm not really going to go over. It's probably an over with Lamar Jackson, and he will play. But this is a tease the dog game in my mind. And San Diego is such a strong road dog. Baltimore's okay. They scare you a little, but San Diego went into KC, and Baltimore's defense isn't like super stuff. So I think this is an even game. Cincinnati 3.5 over Detroit, 47.5. God knows. I can't take Cincinnati as a road favorite, and which Detroit team shows up. Detroit gets outplayed for 58 of the 60 minutes, and then with a minute left, they come in and they all of a sudden they find a touchdown, they find a kick, an onside kick, and all of a sudden they're close at the end. So I don't know. They're a terrible home dog. The trends are all Cincinnati here. I love Joe Burrow way over. Goff's been okay. So it's a real hard call. I don't trust Cincinnati as the road favorite. They're very rarely road favorite. Detroit sucks as a home dog. Over under, I don't know. I mean, it's just a hard game. It could be 20-17. It could be 30-28. I don't know. This is the game I watch. The Rams 7.5, 49. Daniel Jones appears to be playing. Barkley's out, and one of the receivers is out, but I think Shepard's playing or whoever. It doesn't really matter. I think the guy from the Lions is the one out. So him and Barkley are out. The line goes from 10 down to 7.5, and at that point, I got to take the Rams laying 1.5. Now they just have to win. 10, I don't like laying over a field goal in the pros. And I don't know, with Jones playing, I see a great quarterback. I don't think so. He's starting to run more. I think the Rams get a lot of pressure on him, and he'll throw a lot of picks today. I like the Rams laying the 1. 49's probably an over because the Giants tend to score some points. But I don't know. The Rams defense isn't as strong as it should be. Cleveland 3, 48 against Arizona. A lot of injuries all over the place for Cleveland. I mean, if you look at their injuries, they got to have 25 guys either questionable or out. Mayfield's playing with a hurt shoulder. Both the running backs, I think, are out, Chubb and Hunt. So if it's really windy out, I don't know what to do. I think if it's really windy, both teams will struggle. It's probably an under game. But I don't know if it's still going to be really windy. Otherwise, I love the game over initially. If it's just a normal 10, 15 mile an hour wind, it's not going to bother them. And both teams light it up. I see Murray running all over the place. Mayfield's starting to run. So this, it's hard to say how much the wind's going to impact it, but you have an A team in Arizona playing a B team in Cleveland, so it's probably a dog play, provided they can. It's not the wind isn't going to really kill the game. Oakland at Denver, the spread moved to 5 on the Gruden firing. Denver -5, 44.5. I don't like the game at all. Denver's receivers are out. Judy and Hamler are both out. Melvin Gordon is playing. Oakland, who knows what you get. Sometimes a new coach helps because the old coach was a pain in the butt, which I'm sure Gruden was. I'm just going to watch this game. Denver's got the better defense, we can say that, but you got to watch the new coach. Dallas 3.5, 50 against New England. I like Dallas here. I think the spread should be 7, and then I take it to 1. So I'm getting a bonus at 3.5. I get 2.5. I don't see New England look terrible against Houston freaking last week. They played good against Tom Brady. But I think Dallas is just on a roll and they're scoring, so I like them. Pitt 5 over Seattle. Now they don't have Schuster. Seattle doesn't have Russell Wilson. Over under 43. First blush was go under. I don't know Geno Smith. What the heck? I don't know Geno Smith. Is very what you're going to get out of him. I never really liked him. He's like a Tyrod Taylor, so he could light it up because of Coach Pete, or he could not. They got great receivers, and I can see him running the ball a little bit more. So I don't know what you got there. Again, I'm going to watch that one. Buffalo 5.5, 54.5 over Tennessee. I like Buffalo just because they're like 87% in the teaser the last 3 years. They're clearly the better team here. Tennessee's just having defensive problems. Buffalo could be a little flat after Kansas City last week, but I still got to take Buffalo and the fact that they're, 87% in the teaser. And they missed the Indy Houston game and I wrote it down, but then they put it back up. So Indy 10.5, 44 against terrible Houston. Wentz is starting to play better. They got a lot of points on turnovers last week. I would not lay 4.5 with Indy. I mean, I would have normally against Mills, but New England made Mills look like a superstar. So I don't know what to do with that game either. I'm just going to watch. So there's games you just don't play. There's not. You look and your whole cards are 9-5 suited. Do you play it? And you're like, I'm not going to play it. It's just a bad hand. And so some of these you just got to avoid. The best trends today are Kansas City. And this is team trend. Kansas City, Minnesota, San Diego, Cincinnati, the Rams, Arizona, Seattle. But again, those are Russell Wilson trends. Buffalo, and then Indy, Houston's kind of a draw. Green Bay owns Chicago head-to-head, and there's not a whole lot of head-to-heads out there. Oakland, Denver, the dog was the play there. The last 5 or 6 were close games. And Houston, Indy, there wasn't a big trend. So trend-wise, team to team, there isn't really anything there. The bet against teams are Kansas City. Again, you can bet against them. Jacksonville, which I already played, and I haven't even looked at the score. Atlanta, they're off this week. Detroit is bet against. Houston, the Jets. I don't think the Jets are playing. I think the Jets and Atlanta played last week. So those are your strong bet against teams. Jacksonville, but they already played. So really it's KC, Detroit, and Houston are your really strong bet against teams. So that's what we're looking at. I have a Hebrew guy who are the best football players in the world, Lionel Messi. The best football player in the world is Tom Brady. What you're asking is soccer and not football. So I don't know. I don't watch soccer. To me, it's a stupid game. A bunch of people kicking a ball. There's no strategy. Half the time, the guys just sit around. So I don't have. This is football. This is like real football, not soccer. So don't bring those questions in because I couldn't. I have no idea, and I don't really care about soccer. Any questions, Andrew? Any other questions, or whoever else is listening? Again, I don't see anything major, and again, probably the biggest in non-injury is Tyreek Hill for Kansas City. He's probably still hurt, but he's probably playing. Let's see, bad quarterbacks. You got Mahomes against Meineke. You got Cousins versus Darnold. I mean, they're both terrible. You got Herbert versus Jackson. I think Herbert's better. You have Burrow against Goff. Burrow's a little better. Stafford. I'll tell you about Stafford. I think he's hurting the Rams because they're becoming more of an over team. Hey, Alex, nice job yesterday. I hope I gave you the Oklahoma State and the Army games. But it looks like you already bet them, but maybe not. I was just going through the lines in the games today. You got any questions on a game? I do see Tyreek Hill playing, so either KC or the over. I took Green Bay, and then my lock, and then just discussing the Rams-Giants. You're welcome. I like the Rams in the game, but as I'm saying, Stafford's making them. He's making them more of an over team because he's throwing the ball too much, right? He's taking the balance out, making them a passing team. Kansas City over, yeah. Rams, Chargers, yeah. I also like Green Bay and Buffalo. I think that's a solid teaser. The rest is maybe Dallas wins. And then I hear there's high wins in the Arizona-Cleveland game. And I did go under Minnesota. I thought that was the way Minnesota's playing. Everything's an under with them. But you got to watch the Stafford making the Rams an over team because he's throwing too much. So the defense never gets a chance to rest. And you can see their defense is going down. They're not as strong as they were. They're giving up more points. So just an FYI there, watching the Rams. You think Aaron Donald and they're a great defense. They can be, but they're not getting enough rest. Cleveland, too. I think they run it down. Well, you be careful with Cleveland because Hunt and Chubb are out. Or if they play, they're playing shot up and injured. But they're not going to be able to run the ball. And unless I don't know who their third string runner is, but they're not going to run it down their throat, but they got to – I don't know if the 45-mile – yeah, Hunt's out too. Well, he was both – they were both listed as – I think they were both out. Let me see if I can – let me go into it, see if they've updated it. Cardinals, Browns. So if I look at the Cleveland injuries, Nick Chubb has been ruled out. Landry is out. Hunt was limited in practice Friday. He's questionable with a wrist and knee, so he might play, but you're not going to get a lot out of him. He had to take 2 shots, one for his knee and one for his wrist, so you maybe get a little bit of a game. But they got so many injuries. Their injury, they must have 30 guys on questionable out or whatever. But Chubb's definitely out. Clowney's limited playing with a hurt elbow or knee. Myles Garrett was limited, questionable. They have an A.J. Green on their team as a cornerback. So I'm looking at it. Let's look at Arizona's injuries. The receiver is playing. The one I thought was not going to play was doubtful, is now playing. Chandler Jones is COVID. Zach Allen's defensive end's out. And and a bunch of nobodies that I never heard of. So basically, what you have in that game, that's why I really love the over in that game. He's playing, but he's hurt. Damn, I have the Browns as a best bet today. Well, that's why do you have as a best bet? Do you not respect Arizona or what? I had a conversation with somebody about Army, Wisconsin yesterday, and the guy loved Wisconsin, and so he owes me a cold drink, as Cool Man Luke would say, because I had Army. I said Army wins if their regular quarterback Christopher plays. Army wins the game. As it was, Army had a strip sack for the Wisconsin took over at the 1, and then they win 20-14. So if they don't get the strip sack, then Army does their score. They win 14-13. Don't disrespect my Army team. Very strong defense. Wisconsin sucks. Their quarterback's absolutely horrible. I don't see how they can be favored over anybody. I'm not. I'd probably take Southern Miss over Wisconsin. But anyway, yeah. When you make a bet, you got to understand why. If it's not windy, I loved Arizona and I love the over in the game. Actually, there's a lot better bets out there than the Browns as a best bet. Unless you're thinking, I don't know what you're thinking. Arizona didn't really have injuries, and Chubb is out. So what would make Cleveland a best bet? Maybe you're betting the win, but who's a better play today? T. Higgins versus Detroit or Tony versus the Rams? T. Higgins. I mean, look at the defenses. You want to mess with the Rams defense? They could put, and I can never remember the Rams all-pro cornerback, but they could put him on Tony. Tony ain't going to catch anything. The Lions don't have anybody to put on T. Higgins, but you just got to, their best guy will guard Chase, and then Higgins should be wide open the whole game because the Lions defense sucks. When you play fantasy, look at the weak defense. You want to go after the weak defense, the Houstons, the Detroits, the Jets. I mean, that's who you want to play against. You don't want to mess with the tight defensive teams. Although there's not a lot. I think the Bears, Carolina, Minnesota are the biggest, best defensive teams. The A teams. San Diego's isn't bad, but Denver's not bad either. But just so in your fantasy, just go against. Don't mess with the real strong defensive teams. I mean, Aaron Donald could eat them up today, and Jones is going to run half the time and not throw. So that's the problem with the running quarterback. They tend to not throw, and the $1 million receivers are just standing there going, okay, I'm a decoy. I'm running 30 yards down the field so my quarterback can run for 10. I just don't get it. What else? Any other questions, comments? So the locks yesterday, I loved it. Cincinnati, that's what I love about college. Like Cincinnati wants to make the playoffs. They're not going to be flat. They had them 35-0 in the first half. Their running back just went off. And, and they got a couple at the end with the backup quarterback. That's what you worry about is the backup quarterback turning it over, and then they don't cover. But he actually put up a touchdown for us. So Cincinnati, and then Georgia under. What a defense that is. That's probably your championship game, I would guess, is Cincinnati against Georgia are the two best teams. Alabama, their defense isn't strong enough, and they're not the same team as normal. I like their quarterback, but I don't know, so I don't think it. My two blowouts hit Cincy and UAB. Yeah, you hit UAB. Was nice, although you're Louisiana Tech. So that's why I question taking a Louisiana Tech against anybody. Stick to the cream. Don't mess around with a Louisiana Tech or Texas State or anything. I saw you had Oak State. That was good, and in the Army, and then played. I was surprised you didn't play Alabama, but you did have the Georgia under. Alabama after a loss is not well. That's good. Oh, good. I'm glad I talked you out of it because they're not. Yeah, they didn't. The other team didn't play anybody either. UTEP, but UTEP's got good. They got good players. The fact they haven't played anybody doesn't mean they're not a good team. I hate when I hear that. The team goes 8-0. Well, they didn't play anybody. Well, yeah, but how did they do against the teams? And who? I looked at All-Tech's schedule, and I didn't see that they played anybody either. They played a close game against a decent team, but I really didn't see them as they're no. Let's see, they're no Louisiana Lafayette. They're no. Yeah, I think the whole Liberty team was high. I had two losers yesterday, Liberty and Nebraska. And how does Liberty lose to Louisiana Monroe unless that game, I mean, even if it was fixed, they would have won the game. How the hell could they lose the game? Was unbelievable. But that shit happens. But what are you going to do? I just don't think Arizona is good enough to go this long without a bad game. And it feels like a great spot for Cleveland, being the more desperate team, and at home with the crowd going to be crazy. Well, forget the crowd. The crowd's meaningless. Why is Cleveland a desperate team? This part I don't get. They're not desperate. If you want a desperate team to play today, you play Kansas City. Kansas City, after a loss to Buffalo the way they lost, is a team with their backs against the wall. So if you're looking for that type of spot, you're messing with a very good Arizona team. They went to the Rams and beat them. So you can't. In other words, the way I bet. Here's the way I bet. Right, if black's coming up at roulette, I play black. I don't play red. Yeah, I like Kansas City over, and I took Kansas City and Kansas City over. I like both of them so much I didn't know how to play them. That game, Washington can score, and their defense sucks, even though they have Chase Young, who I said would be nothing. What did you think of that 2-point conversion on Thursday game? Tampa Bay, Philly? It didn't bother me a bit because I teased it. Tampa Bay -1. That's why I do teasers. I don't fuck with 7.5 point spreads, and I know the whole NFL is sort of fixed. Like, you can win, but you can't win by 7.5. So that's why I'm very, like today with KC, I'm laying 1. I'm not laying 7. But did they try the 2-point? Why did they try it? I have no idea why. That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Exactly. They should have kicked the extra point. See, this whole analytics bullshit, go for it on 4th down, go for 2, is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. You should never have gone for 2 down. You're 14, you go down 7 because the odds of making the extra point are like 98%. The odds of making the 2-point conversion when the team knows you're going for 2 is probably 10%. Yeah, maybe in the whole scheme, if you're up 14 and you go for 2 and you get it. But when the other team knows you're going for 2, it's like when they know you're doing an onside kick, it is not going to work. And the same thing when you're going for 2 and the team knows that it's not going to work. They got away with it, but basically, I think it's the stupidest thing in the world when you're down 14. We'll get the 2 like it's automatic, and then we'll kick the extra point and win by 1. No. You're going to overtime. That's the play here. Well, I don't know if it seems fishy because I see a lot of teams down 14 go for 2 on the touchdown, and then they're down 8, and now they need another 2-pointer, which is extremely hard to get to tie the game now. So that's the problem with it. But it's just stupid because the odds on getting the 2-point conversion, you can't throw. There's no room unless you have a real superstar running back. You had Barry Sanders I could see going for it because nobody could tackle him. Back up to this other Cleveland, Arizona. If I'm playing red and red hits roulette 10 times in a row, black's not due. I'm playing red until black comes because I can only lose 1 bet, right? So if red hits another 10 times, I win 10 more times. You're waiting for black to hit. You just lost 10 more. You don't fuck with streaks. So if the streak's going, you stay with the streak. Arizona 6 in a row. They beat the Rams. I think they beat the Niners, and they're a very strong road dog. So if any play you want to make here would be Arizona 9 because Arizona is like 11-1 as a road dog in a teaser. So that's the point of the teaser, and that's the point why I do all the stats is I understand the personality. You're better off of Arizona. If the game was at Arizona and Arizona is a 3-point favorite, then yes, Cleveland 9 would be a strong play. Cleveland's a better dog, but here you can't say they're due. The time they're going to maybe lose is against a weak team like a Houston or like a Jacksonville. Well, they already kicked Jacksonville's ass, or the Jets. Like Tennessee played the Jets. That's when they didn't show up, and then they got pissed and killed out the Jaguars. But you're going to see a strong effort by Tennessee against Buffalo. That's what you're going to see. But you can't. Arizona playing Cleveland. Why would Arizona not be flat? So your logic is absolutely wrong, and it's my opinion of me doing this for 50 years. I don't fuck with a good team who's on a roll. I play with them. Buffalo's 87% in the teaser. I'm not betting against them because they're due to lose. I'm taking them because they're 87%. I'm staying with the team that's hot in a teaser. I like how you compare betting to poker. Have you ever played in the world? No, I've never been to Vegas at that time. I'm pretty mean motherfucker when I do go. I play a lot at the Wynn, the Venetian, at Caesars, and I played with pros. Once I sat next to the guy, the duck guy. I saw him in a final against Doyle Brunson, and I'm at a 1-3 table at Caesars, and who sits down next to me? The duck guy. And I'll tell you what, he wasn't very good. He didn't know to protect himself. So if you got aces and there's 7, 8, 9 on the board, you make a big bet because you're scared of a straight or a flush or whatever. Let's say it's 7, 8 flops, and I got aces. I'm making a huge bet because I want you out. I don't want you. You're going to pay for the straight or flush. He didn't do that. He made a small bet, and they caught it. And he looked at me, and I go, "You didn't make a big enough bet." And he was listening to me, and I'm like, "You're the freaking pro. How do you not make that bet?" Like, I couldn't believe it. You got to protect it. It's like chess, poker. You got aces. Aces is shit after the flop. It's only good during, pre-flop. It's great. The flop comes. If I get check raised with aces, I fold because somebody hit a set on me. It happens 100% of the time. They know I'm strong. They raise me thinking I'm not going to go out, but I sniff it out because I'm going, why are you check raising me? You're not going to check raise me. I'm not playing with pros that would check raise bluff. I'm playing with people that check raise because they got a hand, and I'll fold it 100% of the time. Alex, I have a big teaser today. Seattle plus 11. Ooh. Oakland plus 10, Cards plus 9.5, Panthers and 8.5, Chargers 8.5, Lions 9. You losing your mind, Alex? What are you doing? Seattle plus 11 without Russell Wilson at Pittsburgh. Oakland plus 10 without the coach against a good Denver team. Cards and 9.5. I like Panthers and 8.5 without McCaffrey. I'm questioning. San Diego and 8.5. I like the Lions and 9.5. They're the worst home dog in the history of life, but okay. And Tennessee and 12. I don't like it, Alex. I'm sorry that an all dog teaser. Why? Go do this. Go Green Bay, Kansas City, the under and mini, and San Diego, the Rams, Arizona, Dallas, and Buffalo, and then you can cash. No, I mean it's good, but some of the dogs, I don't know. I don't know how Seattle's going to do with Geno Smith. Geno Smith, he could be like Tyrod Taylor, where he runs for a touchdown and scrambles all over the place. He did throw a touchdown last week, but why don't they go after? Well, I would say go after Jake Fromm. He's just sitting there on Buffalo. if I was a team that needed a quarterback like the Lions or Chicago or Houston, I would go after Jake Fromm. I don't get why he's not doing anything. Oakland in 10. What do you think? The new coach is going to make them better? I do agree Denver doesn't have Judy or Hamler, so it'll probably be a low-scoring game. The Cards I like. Panthers without McCaffrey. I don't know. Minnesota, everybody's playing. The receivers are playing. Cook's playing. Their defense has been awful strong. Carolina's basically Darnold running around, and they do have Rondale Moore, who's a great receiver, but Minnesota will take him away. San Diego, the Lions I like, and then Tennessee. Why didn't you? Well, you wanted dogs, but I guess. Yeah, I guess that's it. I wouldn't have taken the Bears against the Packers. But, yeah, I mean, you can have fun. What you did yesterday, go have fun with it. But, man, yesterday's college was unbelievable. I think I went 14-2. And there was another 6 or 7 I picked right. I didn't even play. That's what happened. Alabama, see, that's when Alabama loses, just bet your house on them the next week. But they will not beat Georgia. Georgia's the best by a mile. They got offense, defense. I mean, Kentucky lit up. They beat Florida 20-10 on a blocked field goal, but then they crushed LSU. I was shocked by that LSU Florida score. It was unbelievable. Where LSU got that without Bote playing, I'm like, that one really was strange. What do we got? Any other? I think I covered the pros pretty well. The pros, the trends seem to work a lot better, but you've got to be careful. There's so many new coaches, and there's 7 new coaches every year, and that's because they listen to this stupid analytics and go for it on 4th down and go for 2 points. They lose the game, and guess what? Yeah, you lost too many games. We're firing you. So I don't get football analytics. I hate the shift in baseball. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. They'll shift, and then they'll pitch it outside. So all the guys got to do is reach out and hit it to the wide open other side of the infield. So if you're going to shift like that, you got to pitch the ball inside. And if you're shifting because he's a pull hitter, he's going to hit home runs. So what the hell are you doing? Anyway, what else is going on, guys? So what was the score in the Miami-Jacksonville? Let me guess. I haven't seen it. 23-17 Miami. Do I do this live? What's AMA? Do I do this live? Yeah, since I do, I'll do all my videos live now. I never knew there was a live, so I used to record the video and give my picks, and then I'd always give a free pick. And then what happened is I see YouTube went to live, so now like Monday I'll do a recap, and then Wednesday I do college, and Thursday I do pro, and then I've been starting to do this little weekend thing just to go over spread moves, injuries that like what's the Kansas City guy? The receiver's playing for Kansas City, so I go over the injury and basically, so any key injuries that you thought, or any new happenings or line movements. So like yesterday, Cincinnati's line moved from 20 to 22. And they just blew them out. I loved it, but not a lot of, there's always that couple of line movements. Everybody thinks that's the sharps betting. Well, I'll tell you, I'm a sharp, and I don't wait till game time to bet. My bets are in as soon as I see a spread I like I held off the Rams Giants, and now it's down to 7.5. Now I took the Rams laying 1.5. I didn't like it at 10, but there's what was it? Cincinnati, I bet it 20 down to 14 as soon as I saw it because I knew that spread was going up. Same thing with the Georgia Kentucky under. As soon as I saw it at 45, I bet it. You don't wait till the end when the line drops and now you're screwed with the bad line. You simply see I know the game as soon as I see it, right? I can look, next week's college, and I can tell you in 5 minutes the good pick right now. And if you notice Vegas, the Sunday, I think it's the Wind puts out, or the Venetian, one of them puts the spread out like now. And then if you notice, they'll put out an over under, and it'll be totally off, right? It'll be off by 5-6 points. You bet it, and then Monday it goes from 50 to 55, or it goes from 60 to 55. It moves like 5 points, and you're just sitting there. They don't know what they're doing. Oh, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to teach. This is actually a class, so. But I do make money at it, as Alex knows, and I do. I do sell the service for how to bet the teaser. So I'll put the games. Like, you got to know how to bet them. There's a whole art to betting a teaser, not just like, I'll take the Rams minus 7.5 for $500. No, when you tease it, you got to know who you're putting it with. You got to know how much to bet, and you can't bet teasers the same amount or you'll never win. So you got to find the better, more confident game. That's why I lock it. This is my higher game, like Cincinnati, Georgia under yesterday. That was a huge bet. And then I had Nevada with Michigan State. And so I bet that smaller because I like the games, but I bet it's smaller. So, you got to really, when you find your strong bet, that's the one you really bet on. But it's all bankroll, and you're just trying to increase your bankroll, just as you would do in poker or any other thing that you do. If you play stocks, I buy 1,000 shares of a stock, and then if it goes up $1, I sell it, and I make $1,000, and then as my bankroll goes up, I buy 1,100 shares and do the same thing. It's the only way to play the stock market, but you got to be careful there. It's just bad news. That's fixed. I mean, the whole Federal Reserve, the whole bullshit, that's fixed. This is nothing compared to that. But I'm glad to do it. I play crypto, free advice, buy Bitcoin. Why? Why are you buying Bitcoin? Because it's limited, or because you don't think it's fiat currency, but what is it? Do you actually get the Bitcoin and it's actually worth $60,000? So that's my problem with Bitcoin. If my advice on Bitcoin, if you want something limited, there's a Tom Brady card that is only, I think, 99. So that's limited. They only made 99 of them. I got his rookie card that's 362. That's all they made. So if you want something limited, I would buy that. It's going to 100K. Why is it going to 100K? Because of this massive inflation and the fiat currency going out, and you think Bitcoin's going to save you. Can I ask you 100,000 of what? You're going to have 100,000 US dollars, which are going to be worth zero once Biden gets done printing them all into zero. Is that, so you can have $100,000, but that's inflation, right? So if the currency goes to zero, you have Bitcoin worth what? You don't have a value on it because it's US dollars, right? It's 100,000 US dollars that's going to buy you bread. So therefore, you got to get your money out of US currency. That's the problem, right? The currency's all fucked. You got money in let's say you got 100K in a savings account in US dollars. It's going to go to nothing. So now what is it? Well, is Bitcoin really going to be the future? No, I thought, do you think the governments are going to let us have Bitcoin? They're already coming out with this digital currency that's more fiat money that they'll track every transaction you do. We don't want that either. And then who takes Bitcoin? You're going to go to Kroger's and do grocery shopping at Bitcoin? No. So that's the problem with it, is it's not currency. Well, everything might be going online, but nobody takes Bitcoin. Go to Kmart or go to Kroger's or Target. When? And then how are you going to price it? In US dollars? You need a pricing mechanism, and it's going to be the Federal Reserve digital currency, or it's going to be a basket of goods out of Europe. Either way, what are you going to do? So how are you going to use it? Right? So you need to fill up your car with gas. You got what? Do you have a Bitcoin credit card? No. Alex, Bitcoin too volatile to be used as normal. Right. Well, it's not money. It's not currency. It's the same thing as the fiat, right? It's just, you don't own anything. That's why I'm saying just take a Mickey Mantle, get a Mickey Mantle PSA 9 from 1950s, and you don't ever have to work again. This fourth quarter will be parabolic, just saying. I fully look, my master's is in Austrian economics and corporate finance. Well, it's not the reason it's not a stock, because if I buy Newmont Mining, right? It's a gold stock. They own the gold. So I have a balance sheet with profit. Bitcoin doesn't have anything. Bitcoin, store of value, cryptos have stable coin. No, they don't. And who says 21 million is going to be the end? You don't think there's miners that get coins? Who's going to mine the coins after it hits 21 and you can't get any more? Exactly, Alex. It's just code. There is no coin. This is why I'm saying go get a Tom Brady rookie card, buy the Jordan rookie card, or get a Mickey Mantle card that's graded PSA 10 or PSA 9, because you probably can't afford the 10s. I mean, unless you have millions of dollars, that's going to convert, right? So if I have a Tom Brady rookie card, which I have his Bowman Chrome Refractor or Topps Chrome Refractor, one of them. And it's a dead card. It's a beautiful card. It's got to be a 10, but I haven't gotten it graded. The regular card, non-refractor, goes for $30,000. So how much do you think the refractor 10 is going to go for? But that being said, it's going to transfer. So when the US dollar goes to zero, I still have the Brady card, and now whatever currency comes, because the only reason you have currency is so we can go to the store and get paid for our jobs. That's going to be the thing. Land no more is being made. Yeah, but what are you going to do with your land? Somebody has to buy your land. Nobody's going to have money to buy it unless they got gold. SMA concept is Tom Brady card. It's what people are willing to pay for. Well, that's the same thing as Bitcoin. Fiat is what government says it's worth, which is backed by their word until confidence is gone. No, it's not the same. What do you think Bitcoin is? Bitcoin is nothing. It's what people are bidding it up and down, sort of like a stock, but it's not a stock, because if you bought Microsoft, the company makes products that sell and they have earnings. So Microsoft has earnings. So that's what you're buying. And, so are they going to go bankrupt? What is Bitcoin going to do to prevent bankruptcy? Nothing. If everybody says, you know what, it's backed by US dollars, the US dollar is going to zero, is Bitcoin then going to transform into this fiat Federal Reserve digital currency, or is it going to go to gold or silver or oil? I mean, what's going to be the currency for Bitcoin? That's your problem. If I have a Brady card or a Mantle card, I still have the card. I have it. It has a value in whatever currency they eventually come out with. That's what it is. So what'll happen is your $100 US dollars, you're going to buy 50 of these digital currencies with. Good luck with that. And then then it's digital. So you go to the store, you go to the strip club. Everybody knows what you're doing with your digital currency. They track you. I know that's why people wanted crypto, because mostly the drug dealers and the prostitutes didn't want a path of the money. That's why they take money. They don't want a trail. That's really what Bitcoin is. Now nobody takes it. Again, biggest, no, they're not. They're just saying they're taking it. They're not. Nobody's buying it. So when Tesla says I'll take it, what he's saying is you can use it to buy a car with it. But then he quickly said, wait a minute, I don't know what the value is. So if my car's selling for $50,000 and I take a Bitcoin, and then the Bitcoin goes to 30,000, what do I do? And how do I sell it? I'm going to get, what do I get? 50,000 US dollars? I don't care. It doesn't matter if you're still not buying anything. It isn't anything to own. It's not a piece of gold. It's not a mantle card. It's not a stock that has value. It has no value. People are only bidding it. How many people do you know actually sell Bitcoin? They're buying it because they're. This is what you said. It's going to 100,000. Based on what? And then is it based on people not wanting to buy gold because they don't understand it, so they're buying Bitcoin to get out of US dollars? El Salvador just made it legal tender, other countries, but it isn't. There's no such thing. You can't. Are they going into stores and using it? And then at what value? So if I go in with a $10 bill to Target and there's something selling for $10, I give them the $10 bill or my debit card, right? What are they going to value it at? 5 Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoin? No. Bitcoin's at $60,000. So what are you going to a restaurant to get a $20 hamburger? How do you pay for it? With 1/1000th of a Bitcoin? And what if the Bitcoin goes down? How much do you think? It's not a currency. Soon, my friend, not trying to sell you on it, but look into it. I have looked into it. It's a pyramid scheme. I understand it. I understand what an asset is. It's not an asset. Yes, I see that it's gone to 60,000 because people are realizing inflation. And what's happening is the young people aren't being taught economics or Austrian economics. So what they're doing is saying, how do I get out of fiat currency? I'm going to buy Bitcoin as a way to get out, right? That's what they're doing. I buy gold and silver because it's currency. Bitcoin's not currency. So that's really what you want to get into, but everybody fights because they don't understand it because it's not taught unless you're in Austrian economics. The Keynesian economics is government economics, teaches all this drafts and bullshit it doesn't work. They think we'll just keep printing money, even though they make the value of the money eventually go to zero, which is they're really close to doing. That's my point. So what's Bitcoin going to do? So I'm trying to be logic with you, sir. I'm trying to say it really isn't anything there. So you're going to go to El Salvador and, I don't know how much Bitcoin you have. My advice, if you got into Bitcoin at 20,000 and at 60,000, I would take my profit like I'm playing roulette or craps or anything, right? It's like you're in the casino. I would take my profit and say, thank you very much. And I would turn that into gold and silver. No, we're not disagreeing. We're not agreeing. I'm telling you what reality is with it. It's not, you can't answer the question what it is because it isn't anything. It's not a real asset, right? That's what I'm trying to point out to you. And it's not a agree or disagree. It isn't an asset. There is nothing there. It's like selling an Excel spreadsheet saying, well, it's a computer thing. And now it's worth 60,000. It's not, that's the problem with it, right? It's not an asset, unfortunately. And that's why I say this, but that's the fact. It's not an asset. It's a computer thing, and people only buy it because they think 21 million is limited. And my response is, go buy a Mantle card that's a PSA 9. You go buy a 1965 Mickey Mantle PSA 9. I guarantee you there's not more than 10 of them. And it's going to cost you several $100,000. And I guarantee you it holds its value because it's a very big asset. Or get the Jordan cards, or get the Brady cards, or Kobe Bryant. Get any of those PSA 10s for the newer cards, the Brady's, the Jordans, get a PSA 10. And you can see they're going for $1 million because they're limited. Why isn't Bitcoin $1 million? Why is the Jordan rookie card $1 million? The Brady card went for $1 million. Why isn't Bitcoin $1 million? Because those are real assets that people can have, and they're going to be worth something. But Bitcoin, why is it only at 60,000? Why isn't it more? So it's like a game. It's like a bet, right? It's like a game. So if you want to bet Chicago Green Bay, pick the score and tell me why you like it. So tell me why you want to bet Green Bay, or tell me why you want to bet Chicago. And you look at it, and that's why you do it. So you got to tell me why you like Bitcoin. You're just guessing. It's not an asset. It will never be an asset. There's nothing there. Now, maybe if they actually had the coins, in other words, if you have a gold coin, and I have some, and I don't have enough, I want to get more. I have the coin, so I could walk into a coin store and say, "Here, give me $2,000," and I get $2,000 for it. So if I actually had a Bitcoin and it would, give me $60,000 for it, that would be fine. But you don't have a Bitcoin. There's no such thing. It's just a computer thing. So there's no real asset to it. That's my point here. If it's not 100K by end of the year, I'll buy package from you. Well, you should buy my package because you want to make money, whatever the currency is. Anyway, that would be the smart play, because you can see how my skill set in this area is extremely strong, and it's better than anybody else's. So that buying my package should have that you should do regardless. As far as if it's $100,000 or not, I don't. It's like Tesla or Facebook's way overvalued. Doesn't mean it's worth it. It's just overvalued because the Fed keeps printing money into it. The problem you have with Bitcoin, realistically, is the governments don't want it because they want to control us. They want us to be slaves, and they want control over that. And they don't have control over a Bitcoin. They don't know your transactions. And then the other thing is where you're going to transact it. I mean, when you can start, I'll give you this. It'll be an asset when you can start buying. You can go to the gas station and buy gas with it. When you can do that, I'll have more respect for it. But you can't. And until you can do that, until Toyota, I can go buy a car with it, which you can't. How is it an asset? It's just a pyramid scheme, basically. And that's the reality of it. For some reason, you think it's real. I don't know why. You'd have to explain that to me. But you have to explain how it's an asset to me for me to go and say, oh, I agree with you. It's still real early. No, it's been out for over 10 years, hasn't it? I remember my friends coming to me at poker when it was $1 or $2. And I said, it's a pyramid scheme. There's no currency. It's not currency for sure. Currency is, there's government currency, which is the government saying this $20 bill will buy you $20 worth of goods or services. Really, money is gold and silver because it's real money. Bitcoin's not real money, and who's making it a currency? Nobody. So the underground saying what? Oh, I'm a drug dealer. You want to buy drugs from me? You can pay me in Bitcoin. Or the prostitute saying, you can come visit me and I'll take a Bitcoin. Okay, those are the two players who want Bitcoin because it's secret. If it's not secret, why can't you go to a Toyota or go to Fiat or go buy a Ferrari with it? Why don't they accept it if it's a real currency? See, somebody has to make it a real currency. The reason the U.S. currency is going out of business is because they're printing too much of it and people will lose confidence in it. That's what happened with the 1920s when Germany went out and they were wallpapering their wall with they were printing the currency. The government said it was currency, but yet it went to zero until they came out with new currency. So that's what's happening. So until it's an asset, and the only way it can become a currency is if the government makes it a currency, and everybody agrees that they will take Bitcoin. And you can go to buy a Toyota and you can go to McDonald's and that's currency. It's just a medium of exchange somebody's going to pay you, instead of paying you in bananas, they pay you in US dollars. And then you can use the US dollars to pay rent, to buy cars, to buy clothes, to buy food, go to the grocery store. That's the point of that. Bitcoin, you're not getting paid with it. You can't use it for a medium of exchange to buy goods and services. That's currency. Fiat currency is it's backed by nothing and they print it to hell. Gold and silver is real money because that you can use. Now, can I go into Target with my gold coin? No, but I can exchange it for dollars real easily. And eventually, I think I could probably I bet if I took a gold, let's say I wanted to buy a $2,000 car or a $10,000 car, right? Let's say I wanted a used Toyota. I bet I could walk in with 5 gold pieces at $2,000 a piece, and I bet you they would take it. I bet you they'd go, yeah, they're not taking Bitcoin, but if I walked in with 5 gold ounces, I bet they would take it. Anyway, we're getting way off subject, but again, things are assets. Like the Mickey Mantle card is an asset. The Brady card, the Jordan card, those are assets. Stocks are assets. You have something of value, and they don't. No, they won't what? I don't know what that means. All right, I'm going to go watch some football then. If there's no more football questions, probably people getting ready for the game. So again, this is a show for that. And good luck, everybody, this week or today. I hope everybody wins. We'll go from there. All right, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you probably Monday or Tuesday with the review of this weekend. All right. Good luck, everybody. Again, the site's www.teaserking.com. Good luck. Come and if you want to buy my locks or my packages for the week or the month, you get a whole lot of winners. All right. Thank you, everybody.